Dusty Tomes Audiobooks, in cooperation with Spoken Realms, presents History of the American Frontier, 1763 to 1893, by Frederic L. Paxson. Narrated by Joseph Tabler. Preface. When I began my studies in the history of the West some 20 years ago, the state of Colorado, where I worked, still bore the imprint of the struggle of the preceding decade. The frontier was gone, and the frontiersmen, there as elsewhere in the United States, were adapting themselves to the life of a new century. Turner had already pointed out the significance of the frontier in our history, but the occasional historical pioneer who followed his lead must make his own tools, find his sources, and assemble his bibliographies. This is all changed today. The Mississippi Valley Historical Review has become the organ of the Westerners, while the sound scholarship of Alvord and his host of associates has cleared the ground. The time is ripe for this synthesis, in which an attempt is made to show the proportions of the whole story. My successors will of course do better, but none will complete his task with a firmer conviction than I possess that the frontier with its continuous influence is the most American thing in all America. In future generations we may perhaps become an amalgam of the European races and lose the advantage of a fresh continent, but we shall still possess and be shaped by a unique heritage. My debt to my indexer, Mr. David M. Mattison, is real, for he has at many places given me the advantage of his wide and accurate scholarship. Madison, March 1924, Frederic L. Paxson. History of the American Frontier. Chapter 1. The American Frontier of 1763. The frontier of the British Empire made its foothold at the river mouths of the Atlantic side of the North American continent at the beginning of the 17th century. For 150 years thereafter, its lodgment was precarious, as its scanty peoples struggled with the adversities of nature, the long communication line to the base at home, the hostility of the native races that were dispossessed, and the jealousy of the other European nations whose realm was thus invaded. France, with a growing power over the whole St. Lawrence basin, and Spain, with an uncontested grip upon the Gulf of Mexico and its hinterland, lacked the imperial agents with which to expel the interloping British, but not the will. The second generation of British colonials saw the rivalry of the nations turn to war, and then for a century there was intermittent
Sample complete. Ready to continue?